Hello everyone, I'm phoenixtremayne, and today we're going to be doing the Have and Have Nots review for Season 7, Episode 13, Finer Things. But first, if you haven't done so, please take a minute to subscribe. If you have subscribed, thank you very much, I really appreciate it. Please hit that like button, because every time you hit that like button, it lets YouTube know this is a good video for Tyler Perry fans, so that they can come on and be a part of this channel and become subscribers and make it just as great as I'm doing with the Soap Fam. So here we go. I'm going to do a recap and review. The police officer Vinny is shot, but he turns out he's still alive. Sandy is the other mobster who gets sick. I guess he's never seen a shooting before, so he asks to leave. The Vinny who shot him is shocked that he's still alive, but he wants them to get Mama Rose anyway. But clearly, certain police are on the take and certain police officers aren't on the take. So half of them want to get help and the other half want to do what the Malones tell them to do. So that was interesting. Catherine and Mama Rose was probably my favorite part of the show. Mama Rose is quickly becoming my favorite character. I love their sniping back and forth. It was cool. I really enjoyed it. Mama Rose and Catherine declare war on each other, because Catherine's not going to back down for Mama Rose, who wants $1 million for Wyatt to stay alive. Otherwise, she's going to take care of him, because $75,000 just isn't enough. Wyatt escapes the hospital and sets off the alarm at the Cryer home. Now here's the thing. I mentioned in my last video about coincidences, how, somehow, some way, this huge coincidence that would never happen happens. Not only did it get an opportunity last time for Jimmy to come into the hospital and have an unnecessary conversation with Wyatt, we then had now Wyatt able to steal a pen from a nurse, get out his cuffs, and go running off through the hospital. And still, the police officers supposed to be guarding his room is nowhere to be found. But Wyatt's on the run, and he runs straight home, which, if you're on a run, the last place you go is home. And he set off the alarm, and I guess he tried to get money and pills or whatever he could find. Then he was back out into the streets. Justin tries to get Madison to let him in. He lets Madison know that, he's gay, he hates himself, and even though Madison isn't a therapist, he wants to be able to talk to him. And, Madison's like, no, you can't come in. I thought Justin was going to break in the house, but that didn't happen. Madison let Jeffrey know that his crazy ex was outside his door, and so Jeffrey's like, I'm on my way. Now, just also point out another thing that Tyler Perry's been doing that is not really fair to the viewers. He'll give us the, this is going to happen next week preview, and then there's something in that preview that don't actually happen at that time. Now, if you watch the Oval, they showed where the first daughter overdosed in the previews for like 2 or 3 episodes in a row. We get to the finale, it still ain't happened. And now, last week in the preview, they showed Justin's brother beating him up, but it didn't happen this week. So this is something I noticed that's happened. I don't know if they ran out of time or what the deal is. David decides to talk to Alyssa, the prostitute that's been in his fountain trying to get him all hot and bothered. He decides to talk to her. He has her vetted and realizes that she's probably just working for Veronica. So he tells her, come on, let's go. Candace and Mitch try to help. She asks Mitch, could he throw Benny off the scent of Dirk, of not knowing that, it's her father. And Mitch agreed to that. Candace wants to get into the home, but Hannah shows up and she refuses to let her in because for whatever reason she don't have her keys on her. So Hannah refuses to let her in, And Candace's like, I could just get in if I really wanted to. And just as her and Hannah are really starting to get into an argument, because Hannah's mad that she was dragged out of the bar, even though that's was the best thing to happen for everyone. She's about to get both her kids killed. So, messing up this deal. But Hannah gets a call to go to the crime mansion because Wyatt set off the alarm. So she just leaves Candace sitting outside. Um, Veronica and Benny are Well, this is what happened. From last episode, Veronica asks Benny. Benny asked Veronica for Derek's address, and she said sure, but we got to do it. He comes over, and she's in the process of trying to seduce him. And just when it looks like he's about to give in, David shows up with Alyssa, um, wanting her to take back her prostitute. And my second favorite scene of the episode was Veronica calling Alyssa all types of smells and everything you could think of. It was hilarious. It was funny. Between Catherine and Mama Rose and Alyssa really just taking it. She didn't really say anything back to Veronica. You know, that was just funny. And so, Alyssa left her purse at David's house. So she has no money, nowhere to go. She's like, can I get $20? So she follows Benny out, who doesn't want to deal with Veronica, and says she knows somebody who probably knows Derek. And he takes her down there. And the woman actually does know Derek. She doesn't know where he lives, but she knows the neighborhood he lives in. And Alyssa, in her what might be her final scene, I guess she's going to come back. She continues to try to latch on to whatever man is nearest her with some kind of money. So she tries to throw herself at Benny, and instead of making him a client, she wants him to call her. He's like, you're way too thirsty. And she's still, even after being called thirsty, is all over to him until he finally just leaves. Jim realizes Wyatt broke into the house and asks David to go in and check and see what kind of damage that he did while he was in the house. So David, who's sitting outside of Veronica's house, agrees to go to the house to check and see, what went on with Wyatt. And then when we finally get to that closing scene, the police tell Hannah that they have a suspect, and when she goes in, dun dun dun, is actually Derek. And that's when it goes off. So clearly, based on the preview, she's going to cover for Derek because he instead of ending up in jail, he shows up at Hannah's house where both Benny and Candace see him. So, yeah. So that was the episode. Like I said, my highlights were Mama Rose and Catherine arguing and Veronica arguing with Alyssa. While technically Alyssa was overly thirsty, but over the last 2 or 3 episodes, Veronica has been probably more thirsty than Alyssa. And somehow, some way, Dave was going to end up in her bed in the next episode. So, yeah, Veronica in this second half of the season 7 is desperately seeking good D. Rondell didn't do it for her, and she's still looking. So she wanted some of Benny. Benny said no, and I guess the D roulette's going to land on David. Now, why David would ever get in bed with her after she almost blew him up and tried to have him taken out, I have no idea where that's going. Hopefully it's just a dream she's having, but I have a feeling it's not a dream. But let me know in the comment section what you thought about this episode of the Have and Have Nots. I enjoyed it. It went by really fast. And I want to see what the rest of you guys out there think about the show. So let me know, and I will see you in the next video.